Hey, it's Barry Canada from L3 Success and LunchtimeRecordings.com. Welcome back. I really appreciate you stopping by. It's episode number 9. Today's topic is going to be over embracing change. And this topic comes from a TEDx video that I was just watching by Jason Clark. And let me share with you a bit of that real quick.
So this is where it starts. Someone gets up at a TED talk and says, "Behold, we don't have to do it like this. I've got a better idea. There's another way. There's another technology. There's a new way of seeing the world." And then you guys go, "Wow, that's fantastic. We'll go out and create change." And you can't wait to go to your workplace or go back to the people that you live with and say, "Rejoice, my people. There is a better way. It doesn't have to be this way." And you're expecting the whole world to go, "Fantastic, it's going to change." And this is what you hit. You go, "Come on, we could do this. We could totally do this." And they go, "No. You know what? Because we've done it before, or now's not a good time, or we haven't got the money, or it's been done, it's never been done. That's not the way we do things around here. It's not part of the charter. It's traditional, it's complicated, it's political." Do you recognize any of these? And of course, they're all different ways of saying this. They're all just different ways of saying it's not going to happen.
Now, when you mention change to people, I mean, they're really resistant to it. They don't want change. You know, they like things being the way that it is, regardless of whether or not that change is a positive, represents a positive outcome or not. People just don't want to get out of their normal, habits that they've formed. And so it makes it very difficult to implement change. But in order to change, in order to make things better, I mean, you're going to have to accept change. You're going to have to be able to move to a better place, use a better system, of technology, in order to make things easier, better, and to be able to propel yourself forward. Now, for me, I've been resistant to change as well. No different than anyone else, which is what has probably kept me here in Korea for the last 10 years is that, I got familiar with being here. The people know me. Everybody likes me here. I'm familiar with my job, and all of the customers, that I deal with, all the leadership, everyone knows me. In order to leave this place, I would have to understand that, okay, it's going to be different. Change is going to have to occur, whether it's, moving on to another government service position, in the States, or really, moving forward with my online business. The latter it seems to be the way that I'm trying to go, which brings about another change. How many videos have I made prior to my stroke? I don't know, maybe 10 to 15. How many have I made since then? Probably double that. I've really been, moving forward with doing this video thing that it creates a vulnerability. It's something different for me. It's something I'm not used to, especially when you get somebody who's got a green personality, and then you put them in front of the camera. I mean, this is kind of what you get. We're used to being, in the background, in the basement, plugging away, with systems and figuring out things and reading a lot of stuff. And that's kind of like what I'm used to. But I understand that in order to move forward, I have to embrace this change. I have to be vulnerable. I have to be able to put myself out in front of the camera, and be able to tell you my stories or share with you my stories and my experiences. And that's a change. And then to go back to the stroke, that was a huge change for me, a huge lifestyle change. Many of you, those of you who know me, and I know I got some of the guys from the office listening in now, I would drink soda all day long, Mountain Dew all day, at home, at work, just all day long. That was my beverage of choice. I don't think I had a drink of water for about 6 months or more before I had that stroke. Soda was my thing, but after the stroke, I had to accept change. I'd start drinking water and things that are better for me than soda. And since then, I've actually had only 2 sodas, since, the 15th of, July. Of course, my wife, I don't think knows about any of those. So, but that's a change I had to accept. Fatty foods, I told you the stories about me. I ordered, like Pizza Hut or Burger King or Popeyes, and that was my lunch, every single day. All of these greasy foods I was putting into my body, it's the things I enjoyed. And plus it just kind of worked best for, you know, again, my personality. Everything's based on my personality. I like to be alone by myself. And so, you know, I would sit in my car and I would eat, you know, chicken or Pizza Hut or whatever it was that I would eat. I wouldn't have to go into the dining facilities on the installation or into the food courts and probably find something that's probably a little bit better for me. I could order fast food either through the drive-through or delivery, and there it was. And that was something I had to stop as well. And I had to make better choices of what I eat to have better nutrition. Smoking was another thing, and for anyone out there who's smoking, you understand the difficulty in trying to quit. It's a habit, you know. It's addicting, and I've tried, you know, many years before to stop, and it just didn't work. However, after that stroke, I had no problems at all with quitting. So I think maybe that's what, you know, we all need in order to stop smoking, is to have a stroke, I guess, and survive. And then I mentioned again about the business of vulnerabilities and what this does for me here by doing these videos. It motivates me again. It also lets me reach out to new people. It also, in order to create, you know, relationships, more relationships, I stand a greater chance of meeting people out there who have the same views as I have through video than I would just with, you know, the few people, you know, on my social media sites, Facebook and Twitter and whatnot. This gives me a greater voice out there in the world, and I'll be able to link up with folks who see, you know, the same things I see and think the way I think. And I know there's a lot of basement folks out there who can agree and see things the way I see it. But the whole idea of change is to make a difference, okay? Positive change makes a difference in our communities, you know, in the world. And you want to be known by the changes that you've accepted and that you've implemented in your own business, changes that you implement in your life. That's what you want to be known for, is for embracing change and using it to the best, or using it for the best means possible.
You have the choice to close your mind, to lose a rare opportunity to make change for the right to say, "I told you so." Or you could give this a fair chance and open your mind and risk disappointment for the chance of making a difference. When you lay it out like that, the choice is actually pretty straightforward. This is my belief about people. What are we here for? What do we want? If you're a young person, the conversation is about destiny. If you're an old person, the conversation is about legacy. But it's still the same. What was I here for? What did I do? What did it amount to? I ask people, how do they want to be remembered? What is it for them? Here lies me. I protected the status quo. Do you think that turns anybody on? Do you think anybody wants that to be their life's achievement? What about this one? I met all my KPIs. I satisfied all departmental and OH&S standards. Do you think that this excites anyone? Do you think anyone will give their life to this? Or this one? Is this a life? Is this I don't think anybody wants this. I don't think anybody wants this. My belief that a fundamental human need is to contribute, is to make a difference, is that you were here for a certain time and you made something of it. Tolkien said all we have to decide is what to do with the time we have. I put it in much simpler terms. For me, you can keep things the same or you can make a difference, but you cannot do both. That is the choice you've got to make. I've made mine, you choose yours.
Because if you keep doing the same things you're doing, you will continue to get the same results. If you want a different result, you have to be able to embrace change. You know, we say people hate change, but people really don't hate change if you really look at it. You know, when you ask people to buy the new iPhone 6 and stand in line for, 16, 17 hours, to be the first ones to get it, that's a change that people accept. Clothing is another example of change, and Jason mentioned this in his little presentation. Is when new clothing lines come out, people are in line, to buy these things. People are not reluctant or resistant to those type of changes. So why should you be resistant to other changes that can impact you in a positive manner. Well, you shouldn't be. I think it's just the way that it's put out. Most people don't understand, what benefits they gain from it. And if the benefits, like they say, outweigh, the disadvantages of it, then of course people will accept it. But if they see that, okay, this is going to cause me to have to go do some studying and some training and some learning, but it's not going to make the system any better, then why do we need to do it? They're going to question that change. But for the most part, good change will benefit you across the board. And that's the type of change we want to make sure that we're putting out in the world. And we want to make sure that we, as people who are accepting that change, understand that change is good for us. All good change is good for us. This is Barry Canada from L3Success, lunchtimerecordings.com. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Tune in tomorrow for something new. Take care and God bless.